All right, so don't freak out. I know you're seeing me for the first time, a lot of you, but my face is usually on my Twitter, which I tell you guys to follow at Vocal Pineapple. But today we're here to talk about some massive news. The second My Hero Academia movie just got announced, and I know that's crazy, but we're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about it. So let's hit that intro and let's get right to it. Bam. Doo-doo-doo-doo. All right, everybody, what's up? It's very, very early in the morning. As you can tell from my eyes, I look like I'm not all that well rested, and honestly, I'm not. But it is time to get into the news! So, so we have our first official look at the poster for My Hero Academia's second movie. Now, the first movie, I'm a big fan of. I think the last 20 minutes of the My Hero Academia first movie, amazing, right? And there's some really good parts in the rest of the movie, but the movie by itself, like, it's not like amazing. You know what I mean? Like, it's a really good movie, but it's not something that like you're gonna want to run back and rewatch. Besides that last 20-minute cut, which is just incredible. So another thing that, and I guess I'm starting this off so negatively. Another thing that a lot of people will remember about the first My Hero Academia movie was that because of the movie, I feel like a lot of people understand that the production on My Hero Academia Season 3 suffered a little bit. The animation quality took a little bit of a dip, and I feel like that's something that, a lot of people didn't really agree with when the season was going on, but now it's something that a lot of people are just willing to accept more often. And also, I feel like the animation for the movie suffered a little bit because it wasn't, like, some parts of the movie looked just like a regular anime episode, you know what I mean? So, when they announced that there was going to be this long break between My Hero Academia Season 3 and My Hero Academia Season 4, one of the ideas that, a lot of people had, I've said it in videos, one of the ideas was that maybe this break that they're taking from, like, this year where they're already working on the fourth season to October is for them, one, to make sure that the animation in Season 4 is going to be incredible, which it will be, I'm sure, right? But two, the second possible reason that they would do that is to do a second My Hero Academia movie. And it's good to finally have confirmation that that's exactly what they are doing. So we have Deku standing here defiantly. I'm going to make sure to take that art for a thumbnail. We have Bakugo, and we got All Might, Small Might in the background. And this is the scan. It's coming from Weekly Shonen Jump. I actually don't know, sadly, who specifically uploaded the scan first, because I've just seen the scan all over the place. But it was probably Yonko or somebody. And yeah, there's a little bit of text here. Now, this was posted in the My Hero Academia Discord, and it was pinned. And someone, because there's all sorts of people who can translate and read things, according to them, and I'm not gonna credit them because they've asked not to be credited on several occasions for other things. So that's the only reason I'm not going to. But if you're in the Discord, you know who probably translated this. The page seems to say that it'll be an original story with Horikoshi as supervising director and character designer. Now, that suggests to me that very much like the first My Hero Academia movie, you see Horikoshi's little mascot right there, the hand coming out of the hand. That suggests to me that very much like the first My Hero Academia movie, this movie will be considered very much so canon within the world of My Hero Academia. Now, I know there's a little bit of back and forth about whether or not the My Hero Academia movie is canon, but yeah, I mean, Horikoshi worked on it himself. Pretty much the plot was written by him. Like, it's canon. It's not even an argument I'm really willing to entertain. So it seems like we're gonna get another canon movie. Now, what do you do? What do you do with a second My Hero Academia movie? That's a big question, right? Because I would assume, and when does this movie take place? That's the biggest question. Because if this movie takes place directly after the first movie, that's kind of trash. But if it takes place during some season 4 stuff, I mean, we're going to be able to see Mirio. That's something that is just instantly like Mirio in... All right. The first movie, there was a moment between Deku and All Might. Spoilers to the first movie, I guess. There's a moment that we can't get again, obviously, because All Might he's not, gonna be boxing anybody anymore after what happened with him and All for One. And I feel like there's potential for the second movie, and I'm not going to say how or with what characters. My manga readers know what I'm talking about, maybe because I'm being a little extra. um there's a chance to have a scene between two characters that don't get to fight together in the manga, and that probably won't get to fight together at any point, barring some extreme circumstances. So there's potential for this movie to give us another one of those scenes where two characters that normally and in the future, for the foreseeable future, don't have any way of fighting together or interacting together on a team. It's going to give us an opportunity to maybe have that happen, and I think that's just super exciting. It's super exciting, the thought of seeing Mirio and the big three in action in a movie. But it really just depends on where this is happening, where this is taking place, when this is taking place. And I hope that it does take place. And I just moved the entire border. I hope that it does take place at some point, kind of in between the events of season 4. And it's kind of awkward. It's there's going to be some awkward placement unless the movie does take place in Japan. But another thing that I would definitely love to see with this movie is more of David Shield and Melissa Shield, because you've seen me do a video on it. I want Melissa Shield and David Shield to be more involved in the actual canon of My Hero Academia. You know what I mean? Like I feel like Melissa Shield eventually should end up being Deku's costume designer, and just kind of mirroring what David Shield did for All Might. But I do actually like those characters. I feel like there were interesting characters that were introduced into the canon. We haven't really had time to explore anything about them in the actual manga material, the anime material, but it would definitely be really, really interesting to explore more about those characters, especially since David Shield is such a big part of like All Might's life, and Melissa is like kind of this weird love interest for Deku that also serves that same role that David Shield served for All Might in the past. Now, having Bakugo on this poster here makes me wonder if this movie might be more about, and the two obviously, it makes me wonder if this movie will be more about Deku and Bakugo's relationship with each other. And as a byproduct of that, the relationship that they share through All Might, kind of. Because these two are the two kind of, to a certain degree, they're the two most important characters in the series. This is the Asta, Vegeta, Goku, Sasuke, Naruto of the series, and I'm not making a comparison to say like these guys are as good or as cool as Vegeta and Goku. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just saying, like, these are the two main rivals, main characters of this series, right? And they also both follow the main kind of hero, which is All Might, and they both follow his teachings in different ways, and he's kind of their mentor, right? So there's two of them, right? That you see what and you see like film companies kind of like doing this thing, like the second game in a series will have co-op. Spider-Man 2 on PS4 is going to let you play as Miles and Spider. You know what I mean? Like companies love doing that kind of stuff. So I'm interested in whether or not this movie might have more to do with Bakugo and Deku kind of as like a duo. I think that would be very exciting. Imagine seeing Bakugo and Deku getting along, fighting against villains and stuff like that. I think that'd be really awesome. So there's definitely a lot of potential for things that they can do with this movie. One very telling thing in this poster here, and it's something that I haven't seen anyone really point out. Deku is not wearing his new gloves in this poster. Now, of course, obviously, that could just be a little error by Horikoshi, but I think that lets us know that this movie is going to be happening before the Gentle arc, where Deku gets some brand new gloves that we're going to be seeing in season 4 of the anime. But it probably happens around the time that Deku is getting involved with Night Eye and the investigation with Eri and all that stuff. I would love for it to take place in some kind of like, yeah, I don't want to say I want it to take place immediately after, because there's some things that are ruined by that. So I just kind of hope that it takes place right in the middle, right before they go to do some of the things that they do with the I'm trying not to spoil also. There's just a certain point before we really get into the arc, I guess, is where I hope this movie takes place, because I don't know how they're going to include certain characters and do certain things if they don't do that. So I'm really wondering what they're gonna do. It's an original story by Horikoshi. He's gonna be working on, of course, new villain designs, new character designs. We're gonna get all sorts of new stuff. This is probably gonna be something that we learn more about at Hero Fest, which is a festival for My Hero Academia that is coming up in Japan, I believe. There's just so many other events that My Hero Academia is at this year. And it's just doing so well. It's really great. So that's all the information and speculation that we have about the second My Hero Academia movie. Here's the poster. I'm probably gonna use it as part of the thumbnail somehow. And yeah, that's what we got. What can I say, folks? That's all the information we have. But you can stay tuned here, of course, or follow me on my Twitter at Vocal Pineapple, because I did tweet about this before I went to. I took it's a long story, but follow me on Twitter. Make sure you follow the channel. Like the video if you appreciated it. I really appreciate it. For my face and I'm looking nice early in the morning. I got the lighting on. I think things turned out pretty well. The lighting is matching the border and stuff. It's pretty nice. I think it could look a little better, but I appreciate you guys being here. It's very early in the morning. I hope I could keep you informed on all the things going on in the My Hero Academia universe and world. And I'm very excited for the second movie. I'm hoping that the space that they gave the season 4 production, I hope that it doesn't interfere with the movie to the same degree that it did, and I hope the movie doesn't interfere with the anime and to the same degree that it did last season. But we just gotta wait and see. So let's wait and see that first movie trailer whenever that comes out. I would assume it's coming out within the next month. To be quite honest, we'll definitely see screenshots or something within the next 2 months. So be on the lookout. I'll definitely be on the lookout. Anything that I see, I'm going to post here. And yeah, all right. I'll see you guys later. I don't want to have a long extended outro. So peace.